Okay, guys, you got it. I'm laying down. Everyone's always saying, you need to just chill out for a minute. No, I'm here. I'm chilling. So, I guess this is just going to be kind of a chatty type video, just updating and whatever. So, my due date for this baby is October 11th. But we've also known, like, from the beginning that we had to just see each week how it would turn out. So we went, let's see, the beginning of this week, and he failed his, trying to think. He failed his ultrasound. So he got 3 parts right, and then he didn't do enough breathing in that ultrasound for them to be satisfied. So then they put me on the monitors, like a non-stress test, for about half an hour, and they said his heart rate looked good. We were good. So then Thursday I went back, and actually, oh my goodness, what a long week. So Wednesday I went and talked to my midwife. I'll talk to you about that in a couple minutes. And then Thursday we went back for another ultrasound, and he passed that ultrasound. He did his breathing, and he did his movements and that type of stuff. His movements were a bit like sluggish, slow. I had just gone grocery shopping right before then, so I'm thinking that he probably was just sleeping, and once they poked him around a little bit, he decided he wanted to move and stuff. And since then I do kick counts, so I know like how often he's moving and that type of stuff, and I haven't had any like cause of concern. I have the door open because it is so hot today. Anyway, and the dog keeps deciding that she wants to come in, and she's not coming in. No, I have a bunch of different things happening in the kitchen. I have some chili going on in the kitchen, so I'm going to be making a video for that for you guys. So doing chili, I'm going to be canning chili, and then I have some foods at the table that I'm going to take camping. So let's talk about all that. All right, so if you've not been here before, I am Mama Bear to many. I am mom to 14 children. 12 of my children still live here at home, and I am pregnant with baby number 15, and they think that he has trisomy 18. I have gotten quite a few comments saying, well, I don't understand how they don't know for sure that he does, if he does or doesn't have trisomy 18. So I will explain that real quick, and then we'll go on to what's going on now. So we had an ultrasound, and when we had the ultrasound at 20 weeks, they saw a lot of markers, they would call, for a trisomy 18 baby. And a lot of those markers, if you've been following the journey, are no longer markers, because a lot of them that they said the baby had, they have been able to confirm that those aren't the case. So it's all weird, okay? It's just weird. I also had blood work after then, and it said, the blood work said that it came up high as a trisomy 18 blood work, whatever it is type thing. That said, those are all markers. When you get your blood work drawn, just so you guys understand this, when you get your blood work drawn from 16 to 18 weeks, they can say possibly, and then they can try to look at an ultrasound, and then they can say possibly because of those things. But unless you get an amniocentesis, they cannot confirm that that the baby has trisomy 18, and there has been situations where the baby maybe is not a carrier. Another thing is also that trisomy 18 is also like a big spectrum. I didn't know that at the beginning, because they just say trisomy 18, it's just one thing. But there is full trisomy, and there is mosaic trisomy. And you wouldn't know from either of those tests if it was full or mosaic. You would not know that until the baby is here. Now, even when the baby arrives, the blood will be drawn, but we were told that it would take about 4 weeks before we actually would get confirmation of any type of trisomy. That's just how it works. It takes 4 weeks. So we do not know 100% that this baby has trisomy 18. So the things that we can consider right now are that we're going off the markers of trisomy 18 and knowing that the baby could need potential help in certain areas. The baby does have a hole in his heart that has been confirmed. I think it's called VSD. I have paperwork about it. I just forget the name of it. Anyway, basically, there's 4 chambers of the heart. One of the chambers leaks from one to the other, but when a baby is born, there is enough pressure in the baby's heart to make that work appropriately most of the time. So basically, with the type of condition that he has, he will have heart surgery later. There are instances where some of those have self-corrected. So once the baby is born, then the plan is that he would get a pediatric echocardiogram, and that will be done within the first 24 hours of his life. So I have been working on today trying to write out a birth plan for this baby, and that is so like just emotionally draining, mentally draining. There's just been so much that have gone on the past few days. It's just been crazy. So I have 2 of my older daughters. They are at a retreat right now, even though you guys think that they have no life and that they're just my personal slaves. No, they're out having fun at a retreat, and I am very thankful that they are able to do that. I feel blessed that they're able to do that. So we're down some older people, and I have been having not strong contractions, but I've been having contractions off and on for a little bit now. Yeah, it's been a few weeks. If I get up and I do too much, then I start contracting. So basically it looks like I do something and I sit down. I do something, I sit down. And just been really cautious about the amount that I'm doing or not doing. And also the amount of fluids that I'm drinking and electrolytes and all that type of stuff, and what I'm not. At one point I did end up taking a magnesium bath because that helps as well. I was having a really rough night the night before, and then I had a magnesium bath the next day, and it worked out okay. Okay, so after I had my appointment where, well, I had the ultrasound and the baby had failed, I immediately went down for a non-stress test down in the office where my midwife is at. And they had tried to rearrange me yet again to see a new person. And I have not seen my actual midwife for well over a month now. It's probably been like 2 months. I think I've seen her twice this whole pregnancy. So, and I like her. Like, she seems to be like supportive in like whatever we're doing. And as soon as like she found out, the lady that I saw after we found out about trisomy was very rude, and I've asked like not to see that person anymore. And I thought they were all going to be rude, and my midwife was actually very supportive. So I am okay with the woman that is my main midwife, but they keep passing me from person to person because she never has any available slots. So they put me in, and I ended up going in an extra day. So last week, or this past week, I actually went in 3 times in the week just so I could see her. So I went in and I saw her on the day before I was actually supposed to have my ultrasound, and we chatted a bit, trying to decide. They definitely want me to have an induction by a certain day. just because of the baby's growth restriction and where I'm at physically. So they just would rather see the baby like come out and be safe on the outside, Lord willing. And so we do have a scheduled date to do that. It was also recommended that I try to stay closer to the city. So the plan is, I went and I looked at the weather, actually, because Maine can be so very weird. But right now, it had been chillier. Like last week, the overnights were like 40. But like this coming week, they're supposed to be in like the 60s. So that is fine, like late 50s, 60s. So we have decided, my husband and I have decided that we would go as a family camping local to the hospital, and that we would just spend the week camping and having a good time. My husband will actually be working a couple of the days that we are going to be camping because his boss is actually away right now. He is on vacation. So when his boss comes back, then my husband is going to take some of his time, some of his vacation time or sick time or something like that. With his company, he can use vacation or sick time because this is a medical thing for somebody in his family. And it's really nice that they have the sick time be for anyone in your family. You don't necessarily have to be sick, like one of your children or something could be sick. So he will take off a few days before I actually get induced, which will be good. And then we'll just spend some time camping and having a good time as a family. That said, we're going to be camping for, let me think. It's wicked humid today. That's why I'm like having a hard time breathing again. Let's see. We're going to be camping for 7-8 days. And then my children are going to, and then I'm going to be induced. And then that day that I'm induced, they're going to spend the night there. And then they'll come home the next day. And the reason that we're going to do that is if the baby was born and only had a very short time to live, then a lot of my children would want to see the baby before the baby died. And so we want to be able to make sure that they have the opportunity to do that. So that is why we're planning that situation. Currently, they want me closer to the hospital because I go so fast and they really, I mean, who wants that, right? Like, I don't want to like give birth on the way to the hospital and not have a breathing baby. I wouldn't, that would just be really hard. Like, if I'm in the hospital, then I know that at least they're giving the care that I would want them to give. So, that's our main consideration. We were trying to look to see if we could find like an Airbnb or Vrbo or something like that, but we can't find anything in the area that will hold a family our size. And so then it just kind of got wonky, but then we looked at the weather and the weather looks like it's supposed to be really nice. Like, honestly, it's supposed to be like mid 80s all week and then like warmer at nighttime. So we're okay with the whole camping situation because it's warm. I think that the Lord just looked out for us and made that happen. I mean, we do have heaters and that type of stuff. We normally when we camp, we camp with like no water and no electric. But we decided to camp with water and electric so that I can bring in like my Instapots and I can plug those in and then be able to make meals and stuff that way. So yeah, that's going to be, and plus next week I have a ton of appointments. So it'll be good just to be in the city and able to do some stuff. I did see that we're probably going to go to, there's a fair that comes up. It's like an agricultural type fair. So we might take the kids to the fair. Probably take them to the museum and just have like some good days, well, whenever I don't have appointments during the day, and then like hang out and go camping at nighttime. Yeah. So that is the plan so far. But getting motivated to actually plan a 9-day camping trip, I'm like, oh my goodness. So things that had to happen. So this is like just a couple days before we need to leave to go camping. So I needed to make sure that I wrote out my birth plan, and I have now officially done that, which is hard because I need to write out all the things, right? So I need to write out that I want the baby to have full intervention, that the baby can have any type of oxygen, all those things. But I also had to write out the other side of things as far as if the baby was born still, how I would want to have that be, right? So it's just like draining. And so now that I've written out the birth plan, I'm laying here and I'm like, oh, my daughter went to go get pig food. My oldest daughter with somebody else. And then one of my teens has the kids over on the trampoline there. And I'm just like, I am going to sit here for a minute before my brain can reprocess. I started doing, started making some chili this morning. And that's another thing. Like, we need to plan, and I have been planning. I hope you guys saw the soup video. I just uploaded that this morning. So I think that's coming out soon. But just planning as well for when I'm in the hospital, like we'll need to have certain things because we'll be in the NICU for a while. So trying to just figure it all out. It's like a lot of stuff. I mean, thankfully we have like people that can go back and forth and whatever. And my induction day is actually for when my, after my older two girls, will be back. So that will be a blessing if we make it that long. That will just definitely be helpful. But yeah, so I got my shopping done, got my birth plan done. I feel like I can just be like, yeah, that's what I got done. I wanted to do, like, I had so many like projects in this house that I wanted to get done. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know that those projects or that cleaning or whatever, you guys saw I did one cleaning video. I did end up getting the wood stove done, but I haven't cleaned too much after that. So I don't think that's going to get done. I think packing is going to be key. I need to, and that's another thing. I just packed away all the kids, like, because it was chilly. I packed away all like the warm stuff. So now I'm like, oh, all their going out clothes are all like long sleeves. So I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? I need to pack their clothes. I kind of pulled together some of my clothes. Today we're doing laundry. It is Friday afternoon and we are leaving Sunday morning. I have like nothing prepared food wise. I don't have their clothes prepared. It's like the biggest camping trip of the year. And I'm like, oh, we'll just throw it all together. Anyway, it should work out. I'm kind of excited and nervous about the baby though. You know, it's exciting that the baby will be on the outside and then we can actually see what is wrong with him. But then it's nerve-wracking as far as like trying to make decisions for labor and delivery and what will be best for the baby's health, and just trying to like think all those things through as well. The midwife that I talked to, she said that she was on call. So as long as the baby is like induced, she'll be the one to induce me, I guess. And then as long as the baby is born before nighttime, then she will be able to be there. But if not, then it would have to be somebody else. And then I'm nervous. What if it's the doctor that I really don't like? Anyway, I'll just pray about it. And if you guys can be praying about it, that the Lord will just work out everything the way that it's supposed to be, and that our hearts and minds might just be focused on him, that would be great. So I'm looking over there because I'm looking at all the stuff that needs to get done. Also, I wanted to mention to you guys, I have a bunch of videos uploaded, and I had them scheduled out for different times, but I mentioned this a little bit on the grocery haul video, but I want you to understand that some stuff is going to get jumbled because the baby is coming sooner than I actually like had planned out or scheduled out or whatever for my things. When I was doing some canning, I like sorted things out so that there'd be like separate canning videos so you guys could really get into that. So as far as videos go, you will probably see, but once I have the baby, I want to let you guys know because you guys have been so great just praying for us, and I want you guys to know right away. So once the baby is born, I will be making a video. It might just be a short, I don't really know. I'll be making just a quick little tidbit video, and then hopefully like whatever, like at the hospital, I'll be able to like let you guys know. But in between those times, there might be like hospital video, then canning video or something strange like that. So just know that I already have some of those videos uploaded. Baby just, yeah, that's how it's gonna work. And I hope that that doesn't totally confuse you guys. But no, I'm not going home to can if I'm with the baby. It's just that I have already taken those videos for you guys. So I hope those videos will bless you, but I also don't want to confuse you. So, I guess that's it for now. I guess that's it. I guess that's done with my ramble of what's going on. But I wanted to update you where we're at. We're going to have some fun camping, or hopefully we'll have some fun camping. It'll be good because mentally I think it'll be really good for me to get out and walk. And I haven't been able to do much. I know that it looks like I've been doing a lot, but really like I'll do something small and then I'll sit. And then I'll do something and then I'll sit. And I'm a really active person. Like this time of year, I love walking, letting the kids ride their bikes and that type of stuff. And I haven't been able to do that because it's just been one of those things where I have to come and sit so that I can keep the baby in for as long as possible. We wanted to get at least to 37 weeks. When the actual induction date is going to be is a little after that, which is wonderful because it will give the baby more time to grow. I have had a baby at 35 weeks before, and that was just a normal pregnancy and delivery, and that baby was fine. He had a little bit of issues with some pallets, like his blood pallets, but that was fixed. They just gave him a little bit of pallets, or platelets. Pallets. Why did I say pallets? Platelets through his umbilical cord. Anyway, he was good. That was 18 years ago. Good golly. Yeah, so that's about it. So I hope you all are having a wonderful fall. I love the fall weather, and have a blessed and wonderful day.